Testing, testing. All right. So today I want to add a turret. So let's actually just play the game for a minute. To see how that would work. So as you can imagine, turret is a stationary trap that will shoot darts in that's the question, in which direction. Maybe just one direction, maybe all four directions, and it will be rhythmically, so they will trigger every 2 or 3 turns, I think, and I'll place them by hand, so they are not procedural. Or maybe actually, that's a good question. So I think they will be destructible, so that you can disable the threat, but you'll have to have the right timing. So if you step into the path of the projectile, then you'll get hit, of course. So you'll have to approach the turret in a particular way, and I think for that to work, the frequency has to be pretty low. So maybe every other turn. Yeah, let's see how it works with the procedural placement. Maybe that's pretty cool. I think the normal traps that are on the floor, the spikes, their placement is pretty good, even though it's completely random. So maybe the turrets work as well. But yeah, imagine if a turret was standing here, and there was also a chest right there where I'm standing, and I was coming in here. The turret would have a clear shot at me. So if I shoot an arrow at it, it should be destroyed. And I can do that in the hey Tommy, how's it going? I can do that. You could do that if you time it right. So that wouldn't be a problem. Let's see if turret would be a problem somewhere else. And the turret, of course, hits everything, so doesn't discriminate. Not sure what I'm looking at. This is Rangedrifter. This is the game I'm working on. And I'm just walking through it because I want to add a new turret enemy to see if that would cause problems. Oh god. Okay, let's try that again. Is it a top-down survival game? Kind of. It's a roguelike. So let's see. I mean, everything that's a long corridor would be pretty bad for the player. And I mean, because it's destructible, it can't block the path. So that's good. So I can place it anywhere actually. Okay, this doesn't lead underground. Let's run away. Well, I think I just have to implement it and see what happens. So it could be the alternative to the automatic shooting would be for it to have for it to shoot on sight and then have a cooldown. But I mean, you could push a boulder into its range and it'll shoot at that, and then you could pass. But I think that's too complicated. I love roguelikes. Awesome. Yeah, this is a traditional roguelike, which basically just means there's no meta progression. And I still have this issue here with the staircases. It may just be in debug mode. So yeah, I think I'll just implement the turret. Should be pretty easy. Let's think it through. So I need to create the object. So I need a sprite, but that's pretty easy. Actually, let's look for one. Maybe just this one. Yeah, this one looks good. That's okay, nothing to write. That's 261. And then when I have the object, I'll throw it in with the other traps. So it spawns, and then I'll add the behavior, which is also should be pretty easy. But let's see. Okay. Check out. So I need these structures. I need game and I need path. So here, let's look for the traps. There they are. Let's add turret. Turret trap. Didn't I check out that file? Did I check out without locking? Okay, great. Then I also need the globals. Okay, that's already checked out. And let's look for spike. There it is. Let's add the turret. That was sprite 2. Actually, this has here. This has a height. And 261. Color gray, probably. No help. Well, it has normal health, but it's flimsy, so it's destroyed with one hit. Or maybe actually let's give it more health just to see. And the description is to be done. I'll have to add this to the codex manually, so this won't show up until I say it should. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's go into the path. Let's look where the spikes spawn and add the turret. And that's actually it. So it doesn't have, well, actually need it here as well. Okay, it has spikes twice. Maybe I'll just, leave the turret once. That will make them appear less, but that's okay. I'll try them out in the test room. Okay. Let's place them in the test room. Turret, turret, turret. And that looks good. Should maybe be beige. And well, I don't like the sprite too much, but pretty obvious what it does, kind of. Let's leave it for now. Turn it beige. And then I could actually make it a sand color. Well, it should be... Let's leave it beige. Okay. Behavior. Turn trap. Okay, it's not here. Where is it then? Here it is. Okay, this is its turn. I have a couple of other traps here. Case turret. So, and what it does. Check out NPC. What it does, every second turn it just fires in, well, in which direction? It would be better if it only shot in the direction of something that's there. So maybe it looks at all entities around it. Then takes the closest one. Calculates the shooting direction. I have functions for all of this, so this is pretty easy. And then shoots. But only every second turn. But I'll implement that afterwards. Actually, I can just implement it now. Okay, what I need is entity counter. So this is a counter individual to this entity. So two turrets will shoot in different cadences. Maybe, probably. So if the counter is even, actually let's make odd, return, or break. So do nothing in odd turns. And then I need to get all the entities. Entity by. This is a more complicated function, but it fills a global table with up to 16 entities, and I can sort them by distance. So what is W? Including W, that's bad, okay. So I need the entity position, and I need if I'll just write that now so I don't forget. And I need a count. So if the count returned is 0, then break. Hey Ethan, only popping in for a little bit. I got some beers with some mates shortly. That's nice. Yeah, I'm also going to meet friends later, so I won't stream too long. Well, I basically never do, but I have a time limit today. So layer is the entity layer. Radius is, well, that's the attack radius. Let's make it 5. Sort them, yes. And then the types. I only want NPCs. That means everything that acts. Okay. So I have this sorted. And let's get the, okay, I have ET. So the temporary entity pointer. Let's get if ET is the return table, the entity by table. Like this. So if the nearest entity is, well, it actually will always be itself. So that's stupid. Okay, I need a for loop. For I is 0, I is less than n plus plus I continue. And then I'll break if I find some entity to shoot at. Looks at all entities around it. Takes the closest one. Calculates shooting direction and shoots. So I need I. And then aim direction. Where is it? And I think there's also an NPC. Yeah. Returns the direction of possible shot from P to PT. Okay, that's pretty cool. turns -1 if I need di for the direction. If the direction is -1, continue. So from P to PT, so that's entity position to the temporary entity. And now I need shoot, probably. Shootable. I need to test this as well. So this tests if the elevation is the same, if it's aligned correctly, and if it's in the line of sight. So let's test this first, actually. Continue. So these are also two positions. Turns 1 if position A is shootable from B. Is that true? Isn't that reversed? I think that's reversed. Yeah. In the comment. So this is again entity position, temporary entity position. Let's use the entities layer. Then near is 2, far is 5. And that's it. So if it can't shoot at this enemy, it'll look for other enemies it can shoot at. Calculate the direction. And now I can actually shoot. Makes entity at P shoot with, okay, AR, that's not there anymore. Fills PR on hit. Okay, I can set that to null. So if return is null, don't need that. So this entity, the turret, shoots in direction DI, and the shot color is white. Range is 5. And I don't care if this works or not, because it gets only one shot. Okay. Let's go over it again. So this is called every turn. If the hero makes a turn, the turret gets a turn. But the turn the turret only takes its turn every second time. So it skips odd turns that are individual for itself, and then it gets all the NPCs around it sorted by distance. Then it goes through them and it checks if it's itself, and if so, it just continues. Then it checks if it can shoot at the position of the entity. If so, it calculates the shoot direction. And because it can only shoot to in the cardinal directions. So if something is standing slightly off an axis, this function makes it so that it still shoots in that direction, even if it couldn't hit. So that adds a bit of chaos, which is cool, I think. But it may also be too much. We'll see. And then it shoots. Okay, see if that builds. Okay, these are positions, of course. Doesn't return the entity, it does return the position. So we'll have to get the entity at that position. So if et entity at the table, the layer, so if this is null, first of all, and continue. Otherwise, if it's the turret, continue as well. Unused variable PE. Okay, that was actually not needed. Good, let's see how or if that works. It doesn't, of course. Let's try to add some monsters. Well, maybe ones that wander around. They may be... Okay, it shoots at the raptors, but doesn't do damage. So the damage is set to 0. But this is good. I know what the problem is. So I need to add the hero here. So hero and NPCs, and then here I need to add the attack strength. Yeah, it's just 1. Okay, still not doing damage. That's weird. So 1 just means default damage. So let me see. Shoot. Let's see how the damage is calculated. Oh, I get it. This doesn't actually attack. Okay, so these functions are a bit complicated, but they are for a reason. So I actually need to catch the position. What does this return? returns 1 if hit or else. So if this is 0, break. Because this ends, it shot, but it didn't hit anything. So if so I get back the position where it hit something, and now I need to check if it's actually the entity it aimed at or not. But that may actually be irrelevant. I can just damage the entity that's at that position. Let's see how this is done elsewhere. Just with fight, okay. I actually need, yeah. So this is the normal ranged attack that spiders have. And I have this shield block thing here. And it's here and not in fight, because fight has no concept of ranged or melee attack. So let's just duplicate this. I need struct attack. So at this point it hits something. So let me reuse the pointer and get the entity at PE. At this point it's break or success or break. And so I have the entity that was hit. I'll get its defense in the fight. But before that, I need to check if the entity was blocking. And that can basically only be the hero. Only the hero has this set. So that's okay. But I need to get the attack extra. Yeah, that's the attack of the turret. So I can set it to 0 and then resolve the fight. All right. Let's see how that goes. Okay, they are all shadows, but why did they turn into shadows? Why were they not shadows before? I mean, okay, the turrets work. That's good, but what is going on? I mean, it makes sense that they are shadows, but makes no sense that they weren't before. Anyways, let's actually go into the spawning. And turn this one also into a turret. I need to remember this. Let's remove the turrets. For now, just so I don't forget. And then turrets. So all these spikes in the game are now turrets. And so let's just play. See what happens. Good, that's a lot of zombies. What happened there? Uh-oh. Okay, I'm super bad. Well, I have gear. The debug gear. Okay. Could use a potion. Okay, this is super scary now. So it has to blink. It has to blink to show its rhythm. Yeah. So let's add that. Can I just blink? If NPC or kind trap. And then so prep. It needs to be prepped. So that is in NPC. So if this is 0, it breaks and it sets prep to 0. Else it sets prep to 1. And the timer, whatever PR means, to 1. So let's test that in the test room. Okay, and why are they all on the same rhythm? So I'm using the entity pointer for the counter. If I jump in and back out again, they should have different pointers. So this is something's not working. Let me look at the counter. Entity counter. So it casts the entity pointer to an unsigned long. That gives me a random but fixed value for the entity. And then I add the turn counter. So the pointer should be even or odd. It should change. Wait, actually, should it change? I don't think there are. Well, if it's all, it might just be all byte aligned. So that doesn't work actually. Oh god. Okay, I can divide it by a prime. Probably. That would solve this. Let me get one. 709. Sounds nice. Divided by 7. Well, actually, no, I can divide this whole thing. No, I can't. Needs to go up by 1. 709. Let's see. Test room. Okay, that could be. Oh, now it works. Okay, so this one is different, so it works. Yeah. Okay. Okay, why am I taking 0 damage? When I did before. And why are the raptors taking? They also don't take damage. What is happening? Maybe I just... Oh, I think I didn't recompile. So the headers are in a bad shape. So this should fix it. Test room. Okay, so shadows is probably the correct thing. And then let's actually start a game. There's a turret. Why didn't it shoot? Oh, because I'm too close. Yeah. It should shoot. Even if I'm standing right next to it. So that is here. Okay, let's try this again. Should also probably make a clicking sound. And maybe it should be a, if it, I can't make it indestructible because it could block the path. Yeah, and this is a bit too frantic. So maybe just the click. Okay, let's see. Okay, I can walk. If it blinked, I can walk in to its range. Yeah, I don't like the blinking. Maybe I'll make it vibrate. Shake timer. So I don't do this, I do this. And then yeah, I need a sound effect. Probably. Okay, let's hope find one soon. There's one. That's really hard to see. Yeah, so this was really deadly. I think that's too much. Maybe I'll increase the timer to 3 turns. Then it's not an imminent threat, but yeah, Them standing in a or blocking a corridor is really bad. I mean, if you have a shield, you can kind of survive that. But you'll have to really be on your toes. Okay. So I just hit the turret, but it didn't break, and then it shot and killed me. So turret. Let's make them break with one hit. And let's increase this to 3. And maybe that I can then... Yeah, the wiggling is just too subtle. Well, it could work with a sound cue, but let's make it obvious. Because yeah, the game's hard enough already. Where's the way? Oh, up here. Okay, there's one over there. And it shoots. Oh. Yeah, I think that's much fairer. Okay, and it complicates things. So let's see if I find one in the corridor again. And a weapon would also be nice, but no turrets so far. And there's a weapon. Okay, there's one over there. Oh god, barely see it. Okay, that wasn't too bad, but it was fun. So they could be pretty cool if they're not too deadly. And I think maybe the performance is suffering a bit from the entity buy calls, but we also just be OBS. Okay, so underground now. That could be an opportunity for the turrets, but none so far. Okay. Okay, the dagger just broke. That's bad. Why are there no turrets? Oh, there's one. Why is it not shooting? Okay, it is. Okay, also pretty harmless, but also pretty cool. Uh-oh. Maybe they shouldn't shoot if you're standing right next to them. Yeah. That would make it a bit more interesting. And generally, there are an awful few of them. But I think I did that on purpose with the other traps, so that you forget about them. But yeah, the spawn rate isn't a big issue right now, because that'll change. There's one. But I don't need to... go over there, I think. Where are the turrets? And where's the way forward? Also, all the way over, the way up there. Okay, this is diabolical. I mean, still doable. Even if I get hit once, I think that's fine. So I can time this. It shoots now, so I can just move over there, destroy it. So even on a line of 5, I would get hit once, and the question is, how do I make a hero or a player with 1 health survive that? So player needs a tiny chance. Tiny chance to make it. But overall, I think they're pretty fun. And they could actually also combine with these spikes, so that you have a turret in a corridor, but there's a spike trap playing before it. So that would be GG's. That's very bad luck. And the probability is really low because they're placed in equal amounts. Well, actually, yeah, it would be really, really rare. Probably. I mean, let's find out. So let me make it not shoot when you're standing next to it. It makes it a bit fairer. And then what was the other thing? The spawn rate. Turret. Let's add these spikes. And reset. Okay, there was a spike trap. That didn't do much because I saw it. So basically they should now be both less common, because the number of things that can spawn is fixed. Where's the... that's a weird path. So yeah, that was the spot where the very evil turret spawned. Just now coming the other way. Okay, there's one. But that's out of... well, actually there's a... oh wow, okay. Completely forgot that they shoot in different directions. So that's pretty deadly if you forget that. But that's okay actually. And I stepped into a trap. Oh, there's a turret shooting at a zombie. That's pretty funny. And good thing I can walk around it right here. But I would like to go into that building. So watch me come out and get shot. Oh, that was close. So yeah, this is awesome. This is actually fun. And so this is the second real hazard. I'm looking at two others. Wait, actually, is it the... well, I have the bridges. So bridges are one. Then the spike traps. And now the turrets. And I would want probably one or two more. But they should be versatile. Just like the turret and the spikes are. And the bridges. So I'm looking at poison clouds that maybe propagate. That could be... that would actually be pretty awesome. So maybe a kind of mushroom or something that well, that's the question. That could act like these cocoons here, where when you get near, it starts puffing clouds of poison. Or it could be... what could it be? Could also be just steam or something. Just a vent in the ground. But it would have to be destructible in some kind of a way. maybe. But yeah, something that covers an area and makes it basically impassable. Well, not impassable, but have a heavy penalty associated. That would probably be kind of like the turrets. Well, I actually used the turret against Cobalt. That's cool. Let's try using those again. Those as well. Okay, that's really cool. Not sure if the clouds would be as versatile, oh god, as this. Okay, that's my dagger ability. But yeah, this is actually pretty awesome. Oh, I totally forgot that they don't shoot. Great. But they don't shoot when you're near them. So you could... Can you exploit that? Maybe. Yeah, but that is an awesome addition. I really like it. I don't like the sprite. I'll have to change it into something different. I also don't like the blinking. So maybe I'll just change the color. To white or something. Let me actually save and quit here and do that. And then look at the sprite. This is NPC. No, it isn't. Object. Object. Blink. Blink color. If he is prep. Returns the prepared one color of E. So if E is a trap, turn white. Oops. Else turn yellow. Yeah. And I can change the sprite just. Okay, white is probably too much. That's too bright. Let's try gray +1. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, I like that much better. Maybe red. Okay, either 37 people should wish this right now, or 4 should refund. Wait, I actually didn't update the numbers. Maybe it's both 4,000 and 400. No. Oh, bad news. Hey, Fusslings. Bad news, it changed again. So it's 62 and 13. It's diverging. So I could make it red as well. Red would probably be better. But in a good way, yeah. Let's make it red. Actually, it's not the normal red. Was it 55? No. I think I changed the actual red color. You can live with that? That's good. It's also, I don't like that. Let's keep it gray +1 for now. And let's look at the sprite. Yeah, that's much better. Sprite. Oh, Jesus. Why is it so bright? Where was it? 261. There it is. Actually, let's look a bit out. Well, I like this one. Let's use this. Oh, I jumped out of it. So the turret is gone. Let's go to the test room. Well, I could also... I had that for the pathstones once. Wait, is that a trophy? Oh yeah, that's so much better. If you look at it, it's a face. So 2 eyes and a mouth. That's pretty cool. Teleport. Let's walk around a bit more. See if we can... find another turret. And then maybe I'll make them gray. Yeah, that's... yeah, should be gray. Oh, did I save that? Don't think so. Gray for stone. And then I did save it, okay. Let's reset. Okay, there's one. Ouch. Yeah, that's so much cooler. And it should... let's go into the... as a last task for today. Let's make them... well, actually, they already have the splat particles when you destroy them. So that's cool. Okay, I love these. These are really cool. Turned out way better than I thought. And I should probably have added them a long time ago, because they were on the to-do list for months. Okay, there's nothing spawning. Of course. So yeah, this week I'll work on more small things. I realized that the last part of the coast region is really small compared to the others. Well, it's 2/3 the size, maybe. So I will finish that one this week. And I will also I wrote it down, but I already forgot again. I will lay the foundations for... So I set myself 3 weeks for a couple of really big changes. I hope I can finish them in 3 weeks, but we'll see. So yeah, I'll have to go. I'll meet up with some friends now, but I'll be back tomorrow and work on something that I haven't decided yet. But yeah, thank you for all the support, really appreciate it, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, bye bye.